Okay, so today we're going to look at Think Deeply question number 2. Again, still lunch at the Deep Sea Cafe. Yesterday we discussed what happens with the square tables, and we came up with a pattern after making a chart table to explain our thinking. Today we're going to look at what if we only had triangular tables and not square tables? Would our answer be different? Okay, so what if Courtney's dad had given her triangular tiles and Courtney lined them up like this, which is the same way I did down here with my tiles? Okay, how many fish would Courtney be able to seat around 23 of these triangular tables? Remember that Courtney can only seat one fish on each side. Now, when we have our original triangle, okay, I'm going to take that away for a second. I'm going to say that one triangle is equal to being able to seat 3 fish. But when we take 2 triangles and we put it together, okay, we only get a total of being able to seat 4 fish, unlike in our other pattern. And again, you can see when we put those 2 together, okay, we had 3, 1, 2, 3, but we're losing that side there, right? So now we can only do 1, 2, 3, 4. So think about what the pattern might be, okay? If we actually added another table, that might help us to get to that point, okay? So down here, I'm going to add another table, put the X's around there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so when we add a total of here, when we have a total of 3 tables, we have 5 total fish that are able to sit around there. So our pattern is a little bit different. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how many fish she can seat around 23. We just figured out what the pattern was, which hopefully you're able to tell me is going up by 1, okay? Going up by 1 every time, and we're going to explain our reasoning on the next page using a table, okay? So here we have where we're going to make our table, just like we made the one before, okay? And the one before, if you recall, we did this type of thing here. All right, so we know that we have how many tables, okay, and I'm going to put triangular tables there, and how many fish, okay. So at 1 table, we can seat 3 fish. At 2 tables, we were able to seat 4. At 3, we were able to seat 5. At 4, we should be able to seat 6, okay. And again, our pattern is going up by 1. So 5 and 7, 6 and 8, 7 and 9, 10 and 10. Oh, sorry about that. I meant 8 and 10. Okay, 9 and 11, 10 and 12. Okay, 11 and 13. So we know it's going up by 1 here. Okay, so what's happening here when we're looking at the number of tables and the number of fish that we're able to seat? Okay, so we're able to seat, the pattern here is going to be +2. This is +2, +2, +2. So you can look at a pattern this way. You can also look at it a pattern this way. Okay, so we got 13. Over here we have 12 and 14, 13 and 15. 14 and 16, 15 and 17, 16 and 18, 17 and 19, okay, 18 and 20, 19 and 21, 20 and 22, 21 and 23, 22 and 24, 23 and 25. So there's where we find our total answer. Okay, now, is there an algebraic expression that we could use to explain this pattern? Okay, so I want you to think about that. In the other one, we did 23 times 2, but we lost a seat. So it's really 23 times 1 plus 2, because you're really multiplying it by itself if you were wanting to write an algebraic expression, which is equal to x. But remember that that multiplication can also be in the form of a parentheses. So 23 times 1 plus 2 equals x. Okay? And this number 23 could be for any number of tables. So if I'm asking you to find how many fish could sit at 28 tables, you would simply do 28 times 1 plus 2, and you should tell me that 30 fish would be able to sit there. Now, for the purpose of a demonstration, I'm going to show you how I actually put together the 23 triangular tables to sort of prove that. And we're going to look at the difference between the triangular table and the square table. Okay, so there's your x's going all the way across, okay, and your x's going down here, because you're only able to seat 2 fish, right, at each table when you put them together. And then what about the end parts of the table? So at each end, at the head of this table, okay, it's kind of like a long table here. You've got king fish over here, and you got queen fish over here, and then you got all the other little fishies right here, okay? So when we compare what we saw with the square tables, one square table seats 4, just like so. Then when you combine the tables, it seated 6 at 2 tables. So we know that the pattern was going up by 2, right? Whereas one triangular table seats 3, and then when you add the tables, the 2 tables together, you only go from 3 to 4. Okay, so you're only making a pattern of +1 here, whereas here you were making a pattern of +2. Okay, so the triangular table was only able to accommodate +1 in the pattern, but the square, when combined, was able to accommodate +2. And that brings us to an end of that particular lesson. And now we're going to move on to look at some other patterns and how we can figure those out.